Thank you for joining us today. I hope that everyone is doing well. And if you are thinking about retiring, go ahead and type yes in the chat box. It should be down there at the bottom of your screen. This is a great time to start working on your plan to retire. And today we're going to talk about making your plan come true. In case you wanted to know who I am, this is a short bio of me. I've been doing this for a while. And this is the picture that I use on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So if you want to find out more about me, you can check me out there. Now, I'd like to introduce my South Florida partner, Carlos Ruiz. Carlos.
David, thank you, David. I'm Carlos Ruiz, and like David, I have been doing this for a while too. I started the Ruiz Group in 1991 and have been serving individuals and corporate clients for over 25 years in South Florida. My office works with FRS employees who are about to retire or have recently retired. Together with David and our team, we could help you navigate your path to retirement.
When you signed up for today's program, you should have seen that we are offering a special gift for joining us today. This is a complimentary copy of our Retirement Readiness Guide, and it's yours free. All you have to do is book a short call so that we can get some information and get you your copy. No gimmicks, just set up the call with Carlos and we will get you your free copy. Here is the link if you would like to go ahead and book your call now. And if you were one of the first 15 people to schedule a call to get your free copy, we are also going to include a complimentary retirement income plan. That's a $950 value that you can get today just by clicking this link. So if you are serious about building your retirement roadmap, click this link now.
And as a second bonus, if you stick around to the end, you can click on the link to get your free copy of 5 simple exercises to go from red to green in retirement. This is a free step-by-step guide that can get you started on the path to retirement. So stick around and you can download this tonight.
Don't you just love disclosures, like those pharmaceutical commercials on TV that conclude with a fast-talking guy who describes all the ills that a particular medicine can inflict? Heart attack, stroke, paralysis, death. And you're like, wait a minute, I just want to lower my blood pressure. Well, we all know why they're out there, and today is no different. We're giving you some information. It's not investment advice. It's not a financial plan. Everyone's situation is different, and you need to talk to a professional who understands your situation and can help you develop a plan that's right for you. Please don't take anything that we say as being a one size fits all, and that we understand your unique situation without ever having spoken to you. We're going to try to inject a little bit of humor too tonight, so the subject matter isn't overly burdensome. We don't mean to insult anyone, so we're going to try to keep it respectful and professional. As we go along today, you can use that chat function to ask questions or make comments. I will try and keep up with them and answer them as we go along. So if you use the chat function, it'll make things a lot more fun. Before we begin, here is a link to schedule your call if you want to get your retirement readiness guide. And I will have the link for the download at the end. All right, well, let's get to it. So who do you think is going to benefit the most from today? Our offices work with a lot of first responders and Florida retirement plan system participants. There are some special circumstances with these plans, and sometimes these employees have unique situations. So while we work with people from around the state to help them make the right decisions to retire, we understand how to help people with 401ks and other retirement savings accounts too. Today, those who are about to retire in the next 2 years or less will probably get the most value. Rules surrounding taxes, IRA accounts, and income planning can change. So if you're going to be working for more than 2 years, some of this information may or may not apply. But stick around anyway. People with more time until retirement have more options to consider, and you might hear something that you like.
We are going to be talking about some of the benefits that are available to FRS employees. We will also discuss terms like qualify and non-qualify. And finally, to help reduce the chances of running out of money in retirement, we will talk about withdrawal rates and risk versus reward. DROP stands for Deferred Retirement Option Program. It is Florida Retirement System option. Yes, we could do an entire webinar on FRS and things that employees need to consider. I am sure we won't get into all of it, but that is one reason that having a conversation about your specific situation may answer more of your questions that apply to you. One of the most often asked questions I get will center in some way around the pension versus investment option. There are reasons why someone might choose the investment option, But in most cases, the pension option is going to be the best option. You have to be very careful when it comes to making this decision. If you switch to the investment option, you could permanently lose your pension. Talk to a financial advisor who is very knowledgeable about FRS and the options you have. When you leave your job or retire from your career, you have decided what to take with you and what you are leaving behind. The federal government and IRS make it possible to take your retirement savings with you. You wouldn't leave your wallet in your desk drawer or leave your purse under your desk, would you? Sometimes when people retire, it can be an emotional time. If you have worked in a department or for the same agency for decades, you may not feel like you need to take your retirement money with you. If you do the proper planning, it will be a little easier to see the advantages of consolidating your savings. As you get older, you could be faced with penalties for not taking mandatory requirement minimum distributions. These can be as much as 50%. That's right. If you forget about a retirement account and fail to follow the government rules, you could be paying huge penalties. But if you have that income plan and have identified all of your assets, you won't have that problem. Depending on your age, there are a few accounts available to FRS participants that do warrant living retirement accounts until you reach the age of 59 and a half, but not all of them. Deferred comp has some special rules that make it advantageous for some to leave in their deferred comp plan in place, but this is different from your drop account.
If you are an FRS participant, you likely have some special circumstances that need to be considered. There are many unique factors that apply to FRS participants. You have different options than most private sector employees. As I mentioned earlier, one of the choices is to take a pension with you, or to take the pension or investment option. What other benefits do you need to address, such as a 457 account, or are you a city pensioner, and are you in drop? Are you familiar with BAC and PLOP? There could be more to consider besides just rolling over your eligible accounts into an IRA or leaving them with a local provider. Sometimes those decisions have permanent consequences. It might be good to explore your options, and our retirement readiness guide can help you start to understand what those options are. Click this link to schedule your call so we can get you your free guide today. The IRS has sections of tax code devoted to retirement accounts. There are rules to these accounts regarding what you can and can't do, the tax implications and the penalties. It can get very complicated very quickly if you aren't careful. Even though people aren't always correct, we tend to refer to IRAs as being a qualified account. And I think what people mean to say is that the IRA is a tax deferred account. Most retirement accounts are tax deferred, and drop accounts fit that bill too. What's important about that is that you can move your drop account into an IRA without causing a taxable event. Again, if you do it the right way. When you make a mistake with an IRA, you normally find out about it from the IRS. You get a notice in the mail, and it usually includes a tax bill. Some of you who are with us today might have experience with 403Bs, and that's section 403 of the code. So if you want to read all about these rules that apply, just start at section 401 and keep reading right on through.
The fear of running out of money in retirement is almost always rated as one of the greatest fears retired people have. Making your money last is a science. There are so many variables that are outside of your control. You can't control the stock market or interest rates, and who knows how long you will live. Many people focus on the rate of return and think that the rate of return can be or is the same as their withdrawal rate or how much they can take out of their accounts. What you put your retirement money in and how old you are when you start taking money out will help to determine how much you can take out of each year. Just because your account had a rate of return of 5% doesn't mean you should take 5% out. This is where proper planning comes into play. You may or may not need a full-blown financial plan, but you definitely need the income portion of the plan. If you do a financial plan with a professional planner, it will incorporate your entire financial picture. Besides income, it will address taxes, estate planning, long-term planning, and many other areas. Sometimes these can be overly complicated and don't do you any good. Your plan needs to be easy to understand, and that is why I suggest you start with income planning. Learn how much you can expect your money to earn and how much you can count on it in retirement. There are several tips and tricks. Sometimes people don't understand how long it can take to recover from a market disaster. If you have 100,000 invested in the stock market and it drops by 40% like it did in 2008, you will need to make over 66% just to be made whole. If your account dropped by 50%, you will need 100% return just to get back to where you were before your account crashed. This causes big problems in retirement. How much time does it take to recover? How much income have you lost? There are many problems coming from this kind of decline in assets. Some of you may be saying, I want nothing to do with that. And others may be thinking they don't know how to avoid this kind of risk. It goes back to your income plan. That plan is going to show you how to structure your savings so you aren't a victim of a market crash, low interest rate environments, or other factors outside of your control. You can be in charge of your retirement income. Where is the best place to put your retirement money? You have a bunch of options to consider. Stock market, bank, the mattress, although there might be some tax consequences to that one. It becomes a balancing act of what you can handle and what you need your money to do for you so you can sleep at night. It is unrealistic to think that you can take little to no risk with your money and generate a 7 to 8% rate of return. Likewise, taking an overly conservative position may leave your savings susceptible to inflation risk and ultimately outliving your money. Having an income plan is crucial to understand how to invest your money.
Those are great points, Carlos. Have you ever stepped back and thought about all the noise that influences your decision when it comes to your finances? Financial advice has become big business. You can read about it in magazines, watch the TV, surf the internet, or even just talk to your friends. Think about this. Do you think Tiger Woods reads Golf Magazine or does he hire a coach? And while there may be some good information out there, it's meant for the masses. Do you want a one size fits all plan for your retirement or do you want something a little more customized? Ignoring noise in our world is critical to financial success. There are times in our lives where we can afford to make a financial mistake. The amount of time that you have left to recover plays a big part in that. If you are entering your retirement years, then the amount of time you have to recover is a bit shorter. Having that income plan and adopting a strategy that can help you avoid pitfalls, the pitfalls that you may face. Besides, who really wants to trade one stress in life for another? If you've worked hard and are thinking about retiring, what does that look like for you? Does it involve reading the Wall Street Journal and hoping that you pick the best stocks? Are you going to cross your fingers and hope that there isn't another national emergency like 9/11? Can you sidestep the next financial crisis or reallocate your funds before the next pandemic hits? Those are just a few of the things that have happened over the past 20 years that we never saw coming. What do you think it'll be like for the next? Too often I start talking about a plan with a new client, and I think that they get a little worried that we're going to get into something really complicated. It starts to feel overwhelming. I mean, it is the rest of their life that we're planning for.
That is very true, David. But the old saying goes, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. We have been doing this long enough to understand that you just break down the process, build it one step at a time. The time to start the planning process is before you get ready to step into retirement. Our office designs plans for people, and a basic income plan can run you close to $1,000. A full financial plan can be between $2,500 and $10,000, depending on what needs to be done and how many other people need to be included in the planning process. For those with us today, we will give the first 15 people to sign up a complimentary income plan. Just click on this link to schedule the call and let me know what you want a complimentary income plan, and we will waive the normal $950 fee.
So one thing I want to emphasize today is that planning for retirement takes a little bit of work. Some of you will spend more time in retirement than you did in your working years. That income plan is the first step. If you work with us, we're not only going to develop the income plan, but we're going to talk about your healthcare costs in retirement, efficient asset transfer solutions, legacy planning, and pretty much everything else that you can think about and then some. Our job is to empower you to confidently enter retirement. I know many of you have unique situations that we will need to talk about surrounding your personal circumstances, your grandchildren, your children, health, parents, dreams, vacations, and other things. Those situations are unique to you, and that is what and why we need to have a one-on-one conversation. It starts with a short 15-minute call to introduce ourselves and to get your information to send you your free copy of our retirement readiness guide. And don't forget, as Carlos said, if you're one of those first 15 to schedule the call, then you can get a complimentary income plan by just clicking on this link and scheduling your call. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. Here's the link to schedule your call. And if you'll notice over here, you can also click on this other link to get your copy of 5 simple exercises to go from red light to green light in retirement. We're also in the process of putting up some YouTube videos that will be shorter than what we've covered here today, but there'll be more topic specific. So if you want some more information about the rules surrounding IRA rollovers or how the sequence of returns can impact your savings, look for us on YouTube or send me an email and we will get you set up.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. I look forward to talking to everyone.